So my name is Elijah Williams, and I work here at Sheridan College as our Director of Indigenous Engagement, and I oversee our Center for Indigenous Learning and Support. In terms of our living quality as defined by our government in terms of standards, not really the best. I didn't fully realize this until I was probably in high school. Having friends off reserve who are non-Indigenous, and then you go to their homes and you see the big difference that you have grown up on reserve and off reserve. And I think it's important to note that this is a byproduct of what has happened in this country for 150 plus years of colonization of Indigenous people. Our people as Indigenous people across this country, whether you're from my own community, Six Nations, or if you're from a different reserve across this country, is because our people weren't thought as worthy of opportunity in this country. I think often what we hear is that maybe this was a mistake or this kind of just happened by chance, but it did not happen by chance. It happened because people in policy decision-making authority really thought of how can we either undermine Indigenous people or in some cases get rid of them at the same time. So when you grow up on the reserve, and depends on your living situation, you might not have running water or you might not have clean drinking water. So there's not really a sustainable solution at this moment in time for reserves across the country. There has been some work to make conditions better in terms of clean drinking water, but it's not to the standards of what Oakville, Mississauga, or Brampton would expect of our government. The biggest barriers is the Department of Indigenous Services Canada. So they administer what is called the Indian Act. So the Indian Act basically regulates how reserves operate basically across the country. So they have the exclusive jurisdiction to basically say we approve or disapprove capital requests, infrastructure. So let's say a community is like, we really need this new structure, new building. They have to submit a proposal to the department in Ottawa. Then Ottawa decides whether or not that this community is deserving of that or not. Most of these people in Ottawa that are making these decisions probably have never visited that community to really know their needs. If a community is saying this is what we need, why not support that? Why make more barriers involved? So the Indian Act legislation was never meant to be a prosperous legislation. It was meant to get rid of what the government called Sir John A. Macdonald at the time the Indian problem.